My name is Jensen Casey, owner of Baby O and I Consulting, and I am here to talk about relaxation techniques for children sleeping in a bed before bedtime. So we all know, especially if you have a child that is sleeping in a bed, that it can take a while for them to relax into sleep, and just kind of unwind before they actually close their eyes and hit the pillow. So we're going to talk about some relaxation techniques so we can have that unwind time go a little bit faster. And they're not just in their beds, rolling around, getting up, getting down, how we can minimize that time between when you actually tuck them in, leave the room, and then be able to fall asleep. Because from my clients, I hear a lot of children are struggling with that in between time and just don't really know what to do with themselves. And we as adults can really relate to that too. How many times have you gone to bed, you lay in your bed, you're fully intent on falling asleep, but your mind starts racing. You start thinking about the day. You start thinking about the next day. And it just kind of snowballs from there. Our children do the exact same thing. So we want to be able to have some techniques to help them so they know, okay, my body just has a little bit more energy left. What can I do to help myself relax? So the number one thing that you want to do is make sure that all screens are turned off at least 60 minutes before bedtime. And that's going to be a big one because you want that blue light from the screen is going to actually keep their body awake and alert. So you want to turn those screens down at least 60 minutes before bedtime routine starts. So not 60 minutes before they would actually be laying in bed, 60 minutes before you even start that routine. So that way, they can play, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a quiet game, but they can play a game, they can play, maybe run around, get some energy out, whatever it is that their body needs. But it's going to make your bedtime routine and that transition to bed so much easier that if you don't have to fight about that, like turning screens off and having them be overstimulated. So that is always the first thing to think about. Number two is during that bedtime routine, how can you build in some relaxation time? So maybe that playtime in the 60 minutes when the screens are off is full of big gross motor play. You're running, you're jumping, you're doing all of the things. Now at the bedtime, you want to start to relax a little bit more. As you're putting on lotion, my oldest son has eczema, so we're slathering him in lotion every night. So as you're doing that lotion, maybe a little bit of deep pressure as you're doing it. As you're putting on pajamas, you can do a nice big hug. If you have not heard of Relax Kids, I believe it's relaxkids.com, but just Google Relax Kids and it will pop up. They have a whole bunch of strategies on how to help children relax. A lot of them are geared towards a little bit older, a little bit more school age. But if you have a child that's 2.5, 3, 4, these strategies modified will still work. So what I do, I have a set of cards from Relax Kids, and it's just little cards that they made that you can cut out, put into a jar, and they have different yoga techniques, or activities to help calm. So I recommend to a lot of my clients, what you do is you have them pull a card to give them some power in their routine, and then you do whatever the card says. So for example, one of them is blow a feather. So you would maybe find a feather or a cotton ball, you can put it on the floor, have them practice taking a deep breath and blow that feather or that cotton ball as far across the room as you can. So it's also a little bit of a fun game, but it really helps them with their breathing, relaxing, and getting into the groove of bedtime. So doing things like children's yoga, maybe you go and borrow a book about children's yoga poses from the library, and then every night they just get to flip open the book, and whatever pose it lands on is the pose that you practice. So there's a lot of different techniques that you can go with, whether it's poses or relax or breathing exercises, things like that. But having something like that built into your bedtime routine is also going to help them unwind from the day before you get into bed. Number three is talk about your day. Talk about what happened in your day. You can have 2 question prompts. What was something that really made you smile today? And what was something that made you a little bit sad today? So you can talk about your day. You can know what's going on. You can do that as you're you can talk to them about your day as you're brushing their teeth, and then they can respond after they're done. You can do this as you're putting on pajamas, as you're tucking them in. So it really gives them a chance to kind of process their day, talk about what made them happy, what made them sad, maybe troubleshoot for the next day or if that situation comes up again, so that once you tuck them in, they are ready to go. They've talked about their day, they've thought it through, they have done some relaxation, screens have been off for a while, they're as ready as we can get them to go to sleep. So now my final tip is for those children that still just can't unwind, having something for them to listen to. We do it as adults again. Maybe you have the TV on as you fall asleep. Maybe you listen to music, you listen to a podcast or an audiobook or like relaxation songs or stories as you're falling asleep. You can give your child the same exact tool to be able to fall asleep. So I have 3 different tools that I recommend. The Zenimo, which I should have grabbed it, but it is like a little turtle. I'm going to pause this. So I have the Zenimo, which is like a little turtle, and it has these different cards that you can put in based on what you would like to hear. So there's a lot of different buttons on it as well. So when you turn it on, makes this little gong sound, and then you can decide what you want. On the back, it explains the different things. So there's restoration, awareness, empathy, gratitude, sleep. So if I push the sleep one, then it will you'll have a little recording to help you relax and to fall into sleep. So
let's begin by lying down quietly.
There you go. So these are really great relaxation tools because once you turn it on, it will go through the full one and then it will turn off. My second favorite one, this is actually what we typically use. We'll use the Zenimo for like calm down time during the day, but we use our Tony boxes at night. So the Tony box is this little box. It comes with a bunch of these different figures that you can put on top. And then they have stories and songs, but they also have ones from the Calm meditation app. So this one is called a Creative Tony. I actually just uploaded one of the Calm stories onto this little guy. So now you'll be able to hear it. I don't have it loaded.
Snuggle down. Close your eyes. Cozy up and relax.
And then once you take it off, it stops. So both of these are super, super helpful. I love them. We use the Tony box, like I said, this same little guy. Every night before my boys go to bed, I tuck them in, I pop it on the Tony box, walk out, and then they're able to relax and to drift off into sleep. If you do not have either one of these, Lori Light Music is also on Amazon Music, and she does basically the same thing. She has a CD called Indigo Dreams, and that is a really nice relaxation technique that you can add to anything. If you have an Amazon Dot or Echo or things like that, I'm not fully up on my Amazon products, but something that you can play, not on your phone, something that can be left in the room. The stories are short enough so they all will end before your child falls asleep, which is also a really big component because you don't want them to fall asleep with it on and then wake up and it not be on. So those 3, the Zenimo, the Tony box, and the Lori Light stories are all wonderful for after you have tucked them in and they are working on drifting off to sleep. So if you have any questions about relaxation techniques at or before bedtime for children in a bed, please pop them in the comments and I will get back to you. Have a wonderful day.